Looks like we're live. My name is Manny Wolfe, but you already know that. I'm not going to read you my resume this afternoon. I'm just going to jump right into answering a big question that I hear that I think is misunderstood and perhaps will benefit you as a visionary coach, a visionary author or leader who wants to do more speaking. And the question is, do you need a speaker's reel to get booked to speak? You may have heard of these referred to as show reels. You may have heard of them referred to as sizzle reels, right? And it is the produced, packaged, professional, short video reel edited to mastery of you on stage, and in often cases more and more showing you talking directly to the camera, spliced in with you on stage with maybe a little bit of personality and background. Here's the thing to know about these. They will cost you thousands of dollars. Boom. However, for certain people, certain types of speakers, and at certain times, a show reel, sizzle reel, speaker's reel can be a great tool. I want to be very clear about that. It can be a great tool. Now, you have a powerful coaching offer. You do something transformational for people. You've started to get some recognition and your business is starting to go somewhere. You understand that speaking from the stage is a brain dead obvious thing that you should be doing, right? You know the power of it. And so you set out and you start asking questions like, well, what do I need in order to get started speaking? Or what do I need to push my beginning speaking career forward? And it always comes to, at some point, do I need a speaker's reel, a show reel, a sizzle reel? The answer is no. Should you have one? Is it a good thing to have? Yes. Is it a good thing to spend a lot of money to create when you don't have a lot of money to spend on it? No. Let me share with you how the industry has shifted for people who are, I'm going to say, in the speaking world, but not professional keynote speakers. So if you're a professional keynote speaker, I'm going to be very transparent here and say, I'm not that immersed in your world. I know something about it, not as much as others. Professional keynotes, person who gets invited to a talk, researches the audience, researches who invited them, and crafts a new talk for that audience, drawing on their expertise, but customizing it. So there's a lot of work that goes into every speaking gig you get, and you get a check for speaking. That's really what a keynote speaker is. And to be even more precise, a keynote is the first talk of the day that sets the tone of the event. But what you need to know is if you're going to be using speaking as a way to generate new business, as a business growth driver, doesn't that sound sexy? If this is what you're going to be doing, then you don't need a sizzle reel yet. I do totally agree that you should get one. But what I want you to understand is that if you spend the time and the energy and even the money to position and optimize your Facebook profile, your Facebook business page, if you have it, and your LinkedIn profile, if you spend the time, the energy, and the money to develop your YouTube channel, these will pay off sooner in the vast majority of cases than a sizzle reel. Think about this with me. Do this thought experiment with me. You're the event producer. You've got 10 slots that you want to fill. I'm going to move the microphone here so you can see these hands of mine. So you've got 10 slots, 10 speaking slots you want to fill. For each of those slots, you're going to get dozens of people wanting to take those slots off of your hands, right? So now you've got dozens of applications, including sizzle reels that are like, let's say 5 minutes long each. Let's just do some math here. If you've been watching me, you know how I like to do these back of the napkin calculations. You've got 10 spots to fill. multiplied by 50 people for each spot. 50. That's 500 people's applications you have to go through. Now, let's say everybody submitted a sizzle reel and it was 5 minutes long each. That is 2,500 minutes of sizzle reel you have to look through. Let's divide that by 60. Holy cow. 41 hours. 41 hours of sizzle reels that you have to watch. And you know, on some level, each one of these sizzle reels is designed as a sales tool. You can't know if it's authentic or not. You can't know if it's legit. We don't know how positioned it is. We don't know what they spent on it. We don't know who helped them with it. We don't know how well that represents who they really are. 41 hours, 0.66. Let's call that 42 hours. It's a full work week just watching sizzle reels. Oh my God. So here's what more and more, frankly, even in the keynote world, but certainly in the world of event speaking and conference speaking and masterminds and industry specific, events and stuff like that. More and more, here's what's happening. The decision makers are doing what? They're Googling you. And if they don't Google you, they just check you on LinkedIn. So it behooves you to be, whatever your name is, to have you rank first in your name. Now, I am not the only Manny Wolfe in the world, much to my dismay. But I do rank first. I do rank first. If you Google me, I rank first. Why is that? Well, I've done hundreds of podcast interviews. I have hundreds of videos on YouTube. I have massive amounts of content on Facebook. I have 11,000 connections on LinkedIn. Do you see the point? I have a best-selling book. It's easy for me to index. Google has lots to find about me because there's lots of content about me. So start focusing on your content game to really raise yourself up and distinguish yourself. Set yourself apart from the crowd. Now, how do we do that? And let's say you know that there's a long time between where you are now and getting to rank top for your name. Well, don't worry about that. Make your social media, primarily Facebook and LinkedIn, professional. Make it represent the professional version of you. This is a cornerstone of building your personal brand. Make it represent the professional version of you that you want decision makers to look at when they decide if they're hiring or not, and they decide who they're going to place. Does this make sense? So, in short, do you need a sizzle reel? No. Should you have a sizzle reel? Yes, when the time is right. What should you do instead? You should focus on building your personal brand. This is 2020, and personal branding is really coming on strong. But I promise you, by 2022, only the people who double down on personal brand are going to be at the forefront. It's going to take the place of job applications. It's going to take the place of sizzle reels completely. It's going to take the place of resumes. It's going to take the place of everything as time moves forward. Get on the train now so you can get a good seat. I want to tell you about a couple of my clients. One of them just got invited to speak in France. One of them has been invited to speak now in France, the UK, the US. She's been invited to be on TV 3 times. Another one got her content picked up on TV, all from following this position yourself on social media correctly strategy. So, short answer to the question. Is it good to have a sizzle reel? Yeah, it helps. You want every tool in your disposal. Do you need to spend $3,500 right now to get a good one? No, you do not. Spend that $3,500 to really, really dial in your social media personal brand strategy. And watch as you just absolutely lap the person who's focusing on these, what are now old school strategies for getting booked to speak, for getting more clients, for growing their personal brand awareness. Play the long game here, guys. Play the long game. And even in the short run, you're going to start lapping your competition or your colleagues or whatever you want to call it. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, by the way. I'll see you guys tomorrow.